Hello viewers, here we are again at DD Shillong, and we're still continuing on our set of interviews that we've done with different personalities within Shillong, where we're talking to our audiences, basically younger audiences, where we would like to talk to them about possible career alternatives that there are within the city that you can do, that you can pursue, besides from the regular ones that that we are used to, that is government jobs and things like that. And nowadays within Shillong itself, there's so many other opportunities, there are many other facilities, there's so many other academies that are teaching young students and preparing them to work in the corporate sector and hospitality business, in the private sector basically. And today we're lucky enough to talk with one such person that will be able to help us understand this a little bit more. So today we have with us Pooja Bhatt. She is working in the Bird Aviation Academy, is it? Yes. And there they train young people on how to go about in this business of getting to the private sector and all of that. And she'll be talking and telling us more about it, of course. But first, let us get to know her a little bit better. So hello, Pooja.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you're from and where you did your schooling and all of that, just so that we acquaint our viewers with you.
Okay, sure. I was born and brought up in Delhi. Yeah. My entire family is there. And then I moved to London for my graduation and masters. Then I worked for some time there. I worked in Delhi also for some time. And it's about 3 years now that I've been in Shillong. Yeah.
All right, I just wanted to know about your education first of all, and we've talked about this before we started shooting, but I think this is important for, I say, maybe students here want to, like you, study abroad, maybe like you said, you studied in London.
Yes.
And that was after your 12th standard, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how does one go about, getting an opportunity to study abroad?
So, usually what happens is that universities abroad have a credit system. So, wherein your up till class 12, whatever subjects that you've taken have a certain amount of credits.
Right.
So you need to have a certain amount of credit to be accepted in a university abroad. So there are various institutes that provide a foundation course, which is usually for a year. And you take up additional subjects like psychology, sociology, and then they add up to your credits. After that, you can apply in universities abroad. And your credits would be accepted based upon how you've performed and how your grades are. Then you'll be accepted in a university abroad, and then you can pursue.
So this is like a regular school, like from 9 to 3 kind of thing that you have to attend classes?
Yeah, this is a regular university. So you'll have subjects from, you can pick up anything from psychology, sociology, calculus. There are various subjects that you can, English.
So these universities, are they only in like, specifically only in Delhi, or are there like other places?
They're all over India, in major cities.
All right.
You will find universities like that give foundation course, and post that you can apply abroad.
So do they give recommendations as well from the university itself, or is it just your credits?
No, so usually what happens is that they would have a tie-up with certain universities abroad. So you can go through that route, or you can, since your credits would be accepted anywhere, you can apply in, let's say you want to go to a specific university, so you can apply there.
Okay. Is there a ranking system in it as well, like you do your exams, so maybe the ones that did better than the others will get a better opportunity? Is there like a ranking system, or is it just like a qualifying system?
Yeah, I mean, based upon the subjects that you take, you will get credits.
All right.
And then you'll get grades, whatever grades you've got. So obviously someone who's got a better grade has a better chance of getting into the university.
All right. So this system, these universities that give you these credits, this is not just for Europe, it's worldwide, right?
Yes.
So it qualifies you to join any college worldwide. All right.
Yeah.
So why did you choose London?
I don't know, you can say that actually I was supposed to go to US before.
Okay.
I was supposed to go to North Dakota State University in Fargo. But towards the last minute, I just felt like I had applied in various universities and I got accepted in London as well. It was, if I be honest, it was quite an instinctive decision.
Right.
So, I mean, I was just like, and
So-
plus Fargo is very cold. I mean, colder than
It's even colder than London,
yes,
right?
Yes, yes.
So, I mean, like, you didn't base this on, like, say, the courses they offered or anything like that?
Yes, I mean, the university I was in is Kingston University. And they are one of the best in providing business courses, which was my course. So my bachelor's was business administration, and then I did my master's in international human resources. So they have a good infrastructure for that, and the courses are really good.
How difficult is it? Like, how different is it? Maybe not difficult, but how different is it, like, from the systems that we have in India?
It's really different, and it took me a while to get adjusted to that system. Here we have a system of giving examinations and just mugging it up and writing your answers. So it's basically judging you upon your ability to memorize rather than understanding.
Right.
There you have, there are examinations also, which will be about 20% of your total marks. But then you have to do a lot of assignments.
All right.
So, like, there would be a topic given to you, and then you're supposed to either write an essay, or like in masters I did my dissertation. There's a huge system of the software that they have for plagiarism,
All right.
and they take it very seriously.
All right.
So you can't just copy paste.
All right.
So, I mean, a lot of research is involved. And when you're reading all these papers, when you're reading all this research, a lot of it you absorb it in, because you have to then, you know, put it in your own words and come to your conclusions based upon the research.
All right. So how long were you there for? How long was the course?
So my bachelor's was 3 years, and my master's was a year.
All right.
Yeah, so I was there for about almost 5 years.
Okay. And did you continue working there after your graduation, or did you come straight back to India and started?
Yeah, so I was doing a couple of jobs there. I did waitressing.
Okay.
Yeah, and I worked in the university as well.
Right.
You have various jobs in the university, like a student ambassador or helping international students and stuff like that. So basically that was my source of income in a way. Yeah.
Right. Okay, for people that maybe want to go there, I mean, I think the biggest question would be, like, besides just the academic stuff, how hard is it actually to survive over there?
If I be honest, I did not face any issues as such. There was a lot of, like, before I went there was a lot of, people were worried about racism and stuff like that. I never, to be honest, I never faced anything of that sort. In fact, I felt like I fit in almost immediately. The university people are nice, they're very welcoming, and you have people coming from all over the world, so it's not just British there. You have Chinese, you have Japanese, you have people from India, Bangladesh, China, everywhere, like all over the world. So it's like a melting pot of all these cultures, and everyone's new there, so they're, like, trying to help each other out. It's a very nice environment to grow and to learn a lot about the culture as well. Plus the first year of university, there is an option of staying in the halls, which is student accommodation.
Right.
So, I mean, I suggest anyone who's going, they should, first year at least, they should stay in student accommodation, because, I mean, it's nice, you get to know people, you get to share your halls with other students, so it's a nice way to be introduced.
And also you build your network, I guess.
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
yes, of course.
The thing is, also another thing, in terms of cost, is it really expensive, like, to stay over there? I'm sure it is.
Yes, London is.
Yeah.
London is quite expensive. It's one of the most expensive cities to live in.
Okay.
But you can get jobs. You're allowed to work certain hours in a week along with your studies. So you can work those weeks, and then whenever the semester ends, you have a couple of weeks in between where you can work full time. So there are ways to earn money. Plus, like we would, I think, after the halls, the second year when we moved out, we were about 5 of us staying in one house.
All right.
So there are ways to cut costs.
Okay.
Yeah, and as students, you're a little bit more adjusting to, staying with other students and
All right.
yeah.
So after you finished your studies there,
Yeah.
and you said you stayed on for a bit of work there, or did you
No,
start
so
working?
after that I went to Dubai for some time, and then I moved to Delhi.
All right.
Yeah.
So what were you doing in Dubai?
Dubai, I was also working as an HR, but for a very brief period of time. Then I had to come back because of family reasons back to Delhi. And then I was working with Hindustan Times as an HR, and then I moved here.
Okay. Okay. Why did you choose Shillong? Like I mean, like you could have stayed on in Delhi and like worked there, right? Like
Yeah.
you said, you worked for the Hindustan Times and all that, and you could have chosen any other city to do this. But why Shillong?
See, a lot of things with me are instinctive. I had come here actually on a vacation with a friend of mine, and when I came here, I just instantly felt at ease. The culture, the people, and the air is cleaner, lesser traffic.
Right. We don't think that, but okay. But I'm sure compared to the
Yeah,
metros,
if you compare it to Delhi, this is heaven.
All right.
So yeah, people are nice, weather is nice. I mean, just everything
Okay.
in general.
So you decided to set up an academy over here. When,
Actually,
how did that begin? Yeah.
Yeah, so that was by chance again.
Okay.
I was initially working for an NGO called Nespas. I worked there for some time, and there was this festival called Terra Madre. So I worked with that team, and through that I got to know a lot of people, not just from here, but all over the world. Because they invited more than 50 countries, delegates from about 50 countries. So I was directly in touch with them. So that was amazing, an amazing experience. And then I actually was, I got in touch with Gagan, who is the director of Bird Aviation Academy. And I was initially doing HR related work for them. Basically, students from here would be sent to Guwahati, where the main branch is.
All right.
And after a while, students were like, we would rather want to stay here, and there's an additional cost of accommodations and everything in Guwahati. So if something opens up here, that will be more convenient.
All right.
So that's when I opened up the Shillong branch, which opened up in June last year.
All right.
Yeah.
So exactly what is it that you teach in this academy?
So our main focus is on grooming, and since I come from an HR background, I have a little know-how of what an HR would look in a person. So how to, conduct yourself in an interview, how your body language should be, to how your resume should look, to your eye contact, how would you shake hands? I mean, some things are very basic, and then we go further into teaching them a little bit about the industry knowledge. So if it's hospitality, what is hospitality? What are hotels? What are different departments in a hotel? And if it is aviation, then if it's for ground staff, then what all is there in ground staff? And if it is as a cabin crew, then what can they expect? So what we have is very short-term course. So usually for 3 months or 6 months.
Right.
Which is just like a platform for them to be groomed and get through the interview
All right.
process. Yes.
Okay. So perhaps you could tell the audience where your center is and what are the timings for that?
Yeah, so my center is in Don Bosco Youth Center on the first floor, and you can come in any time from 10 to 5,
All right.
10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
All right. So the students that come to your center, they have to be there from the 10 to 5 or?
No, no, no. The classes are very short. It's
Okay.
2.5 hours, Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they can, so you have your set time from this time and they can choose which timings that they
Yes,
want.
yes. So there are various batches that go on, and they can ideally choose which timing is better for them.
All right. So do you help with the, say, if there's, with your students, like after they graduate from your academy, do you help them in terms of like saying, like, sending them to specific places for interviews? Like, do you find out for them, like, if this company or that company is looking for this particular thing, and then you send your students and all of that?
Yeah, sure. We have tie-ups with various hotels and airlines also. So we prepare them accordingly and we send them for these interviews. And usually they go in a group. So students from Shillong and students from Guwahati together would go for these interviews. And, we help them in placements.
Okay, so you said it started at 2000 and last year?
So the main branch started in 2015, August 2015.
Okay.
Shillong branch started last year, June. And since then, we've placed about more than 240 students.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of people that come for these to your academy.
Yes, they do. But there's a slight problem that I face in that area. At times, students, they want to pursue courses like this and they want to go out. But since, there is this hype of a government job. So a lot of kids come to me and they're like, we want to go out, but our parents want us to apply for government jobs. And that's what they've been prepared for since a very young age.
Yes.
So, I have to do a dual job of like counseling there as well, and then letting them know that what are the future prospects if they choose to go in the private sector. So one of the questions that I get quite often is, what's the stability? Like, would they get pensions? Would they get, what's the retirement age? And all of that. So, I feel like the knowledge about the private sector itself is something that needs to be given. Because as you would know, private sector is very different. It's based upon your performance. There's no, unless you're on a contract, there's no fixed period that you would be there. It's all performance basis. But then obviously your work is more challenging. Promotions are there. The possibilities are limitless.
Right. The students that come to your academy, is there a qualification?
Yeah, minimum 12th standard.
Minimum 12th standard.
Yeah.
Right. Ages between
18 to 27.
18 to 27. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So the thing is also, do you get like students mostly that are from here or from all over the Northeast? What kind of students did you get? Like from these areas in the Northeast or?
Most of my students are actually from Nagaland,
Right.
some from Manipur also. I've had some Garo kids as well, some Khasi kids also. So it's a mix.
Right.
It's quite a mix.
So what would you say, would you encourage this more now? Like in today's world, like that we all like want government jobs, but then there is only so many that it can be provided, like and you can't all have it.
Yeah.
And like it's quite a lucrative side that we are not as a society, like you said, we do not view it almost as a career. Like when you ask someone, unless you're working in an office, we actually like traditionally don't even consider it a career. But is it more lucrative now in the private sector?
Yes, of course. And kids nowadays, they want to go out. They want to experience different things. Most of the students who come in, they have this urge to see what's out there. And some may choose to come back after that. Some may choose different things. But it's that experience that they want. And it grows you as a person as well. When you work in the private sector, it's cutthroat. So everyone's competing for that same job. So it's not like a government sector that once you've got the job, you're relaxed. Like you are sorted. It's not like that. So you constantly have to be on your toes. It teaches you a lot of people skills, how to manage relations, how to work ethics, basic work ethics,
Yeah.
discipline. So that is very important, I think. And I mean, it's very nice to see that students want to do that.
What are the biggest challenges that students from here face mostly when they go out for all of these things? What are the biggest challenges that you found anyway?
So some of them find other states very hot.
Okay.
Crowded.
The weather basically.
Yeah, the weather. But that's something now, if you want to have that experience, it comes in a whole package.
Yeah.
So you can't pick and choose. But they are also mesmerized by I mean, let's say if they're working in a 5-star hotel or something, mesmerized by the way it works and how, I mean, people work in an environment like that. So, yeah, it's pros and cons are there, and then it depends on the student itself as to whether they want to adjust to that, whether they want to. I mean, I've had some students who've come back here,
Right.
giving food as a reason, heat as a reason.
Right.
Yeah, weather. I mean, I can understand that. Like, I cannot stay in Delhi because it's too hot and polluted, and I've come here. So, I mean, these kids have like grown up here and
Yeah.
in a clean environment and everything. So for them, it's a shock. It's a cultural shock as well. But I think that shock is required
Yeah.
for you to grow.
Right. To experience something different. Like,
Exactly. You can be in your comfort zone, but then you would not know what's outside.
Yeah. No, appreciate your comfort zone.
Exactly, exactly.
Right. So the thing is, like, even after they graduate, let's say from your academy, so do the students still come to you like after and ask for your advice, for your help with a lot of these after they've gotten their jobs, maybe tell you about their difficulties and how to.
Yes,
go
of
about
course,
it.
of course. So you kind of share this bond with these students, and you've seen them grow. So that is one of the best parts about my job. I see these kids grow in that short duration of time, building on their confidence. You know, their personalities change, and once they get through an interview, their confidence level rises even more. So to be a part of that growth,
Right.
of that journey is amazing. And yeah, they keep calling me. They would message me here and there on Instagram or something. We keep in touch. They keep uploading photos of airports and like hotels and what they're doing. So we are constantly in touch.
What would you say, like, in terms of personality, like, comparing, like, so you've been in London, you've been in Dubai, I mean, like, you've worked in Delhi as well. So in terms of personality, what would you say, like, is our strengths or our drawbacks for people that have come from this side?
There are a lot of strengths. This is a service industry, so everything is based upon how you interact. And I think people from here have this politeness, this sense of, there's always a smile on their faces when they're greeting. So that basic level of politeness is there. That is a plus. Kids from here are good in English. So English is their first or second language. So that is a plus as well. So there are a lot of positives that are there. They're good looking.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that works as well. So there are a lot of positives. The only negative I would say is just that it's not even a negative. It's just that they've never been out of their comfort zone. So at times it's too much of a shock to go into a new place or a new working environment. Yeah, and most of these kids are like just 12th pass or graduates. They've never worked before, so it's a huge step for them as well. But they do it. I mean, I can't think of any negatives as such, but there's just like this cultural shock at times that I think they reconsider their decision. Like life back home was much more comfortable. Let's just go back.
It'll always be like that.
Yeah.
Once you move out. But do you prepare them for that?
Yes, I do. I mean, as much as I can. But in theory and in practice, it's different. When I'm telling them about it, I share a lot of personal experiences as well. I've gone through similar cultural shocks when I moved to London. Just the way things were, how things operated, it was quite different from what I was used to in Delhi. So I can understand that. So I try and share a lot of my personal experiences, what I went through, how I was when I first started working. I mean, that helps them a lot, but when it actually happens, when you're practically in that situation, you can never predict how you would react to that or adjust to that. But I'm there always. They'll call me, they'll message me asking what should we do, and this is the problem. So it's something that they have to kind of sooner or later face. So it's better sooner than later.
Right. So again, for the benefit of our audience, like for example, maybe they want to go into a certain type of hospitality sector, like whichever one is their options. What are the options basically? Like if they come to your academy, what do you prepare them for? Like what are the different things that you can work as?
Yeah, so there's a lot of departments in a hotel, and you can be a front desk person, where you'll be a receptionist, you'll be greeting people and everything. You can be in housekeeping, you can be in food and beverage department, you can be a steward. So there are many departments that you can go for, but usually what happens is we are informed by the hotel that this is the requirement that we have. Let's say we need 20 housekeeping students, or we need 5 front desk people. So accordingly we send them out.
Okay, so when you say accordingly we send them out, when you train them for these things, do you train them specifically for, or is it like more general?
It's general, it's overall, because it's a short-term course. You can't specialize in one field, and plus they get a training once they join the hotel or the airlines. They have a specific training according to their terms and conditions, what are their rules and regulations. So they anyway have to go through that. So our course, since it's a short-term course, it's basically around building their personality, their confidence, their grooming. Like the girls are taught hair and makeup, your body language, stuff like that. So industry knowledge is, let's say, 25-30% of the course.
Okay.
Rest is basically making them interview ready and making them crack the interview.
All right. So how about from the local people here? Like you say, most of your students are usually from Nagaland and from Manipur and all of that. What do you think is the problem with people like here that makes them apprehensive about joining such a course or opting for such a course?
Okay, so I think there is this perception of if it's cabin crew, we are okay with it, which is also serving food on the plane. But if I have to serve food in a hotel, I won't. I mean, there's this certain perception of, serving food on a plane is better than serving food in a hotel. That is one obstruction. And most people just don't know what to expect, or they don't know about it. So they just like, it's too alien for them.
All right.
I get a lot of students coming to Don Bosco from all over. They come, they have a counseling session with me, I tell them what is what. But at the end of the day, I think one is the government job. Second, I would say, is this perception of, no, I would not want to work in a hotel. It's somehow looked down upon. And maybe just the general awareness. It's just like that fear of unknown.
Yeah,
In a
I
way.
probably like would agree with that. I think it's mostly like the general awareness problem that they have. Are you planning to do like say any program that would help with the awareness of these of this, like to change people's perception about that this is not what you think it is. Like this is actually a very very good career option that you can do.
Yes.
Like, is there any sort of plan to do any sort of awareness program and all this?
So I do a lot of career counseling sessions in schools.
Alright.
A lot of students come to Don Bosco itself. They come with their parents. They contact me. I sit one-on-one with them, and I tell them as much as I can. Yeah, so that is the way of bringing that awareness in. I've been going to schools, colleges. I've contacted a lot of youth networks as well.
Alright.
So yeah, that is constantly going on.
Okay. So you focus mainly just on Shillong, or are you trying to get outside of Shillong as well?
Outside of Shillong as well. We've done a few counseling sessions in Namstoin and Mairang as well. I recently went to Mairang. So we're planning to do a counseling session there as well.
Okay. So you do it in schools, or you call them for that?
Yeah, schools are contacted.
Okay.
And then through youth center as well, Don Bosco Youth Center. So wherever they have their centers,
Alright.
they help me out as well with conducting these career counseling sessions.
Okay. So what do you think is more important, talking to the young people or the older people, like the parents, to make them understand that sending their kids to these things is okay, that it is a good viable option?
Yeah, both, I think, both. But kids are usually, they are excited to do something
It's usually
like
the parents
this.
that are the
Usually
hurdles.
the parents, yes.
So do you plan to talk to them more rather than the kids? I'm sure, because the kids will always want to travel out, to move out. Because
Yeah.
usually the obstacles, usually like, at least within our society, that parents will be like a little bit apprehensive and fearful for their kids to do something like this.
Yeah, actually, you've brought in a very good idea. I should actually target the parents
Yeah, you
rather than
should
the
do
students.
Because usually they have the last say, because they're the ones paying the money, I guess.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So the ones that come directly to me in Don Bosco, them I ask them to get their parents and I can talk to them one-on-one. But yeah, I think I should plan something where the parents are also involved and parents also come in and they can also be made aware of the career options and whatever, if they have any questions regarding their child taking this career option, I can probably
Okay.
put some
Brilliant
light on
idea,
that
right?
topic.
Yeah, okay, that's a good idea, and I hope you'll be successful in that. Okay, on that note, we shall end our interview now, and I hope it's been very, very informative for you, as it has been for me, and I hope this helps you a lot in making your decision as you go through your options of what you want to be in life, of what you want to pursue within life, and I hope you go and contact Pooja and go talk to her about all these things. I'm sure she's always there in her office,
Yes.
willing to talk to you anytime that you want to go. So with that, we'd like to wish you a very good day and hope to see you again soon.
Thank you so much.